Surface, 0 to 30 meters. This is the part of the ocean people trust the most. Beaches, reefs, shallow coastal waters. It feels safe because you can see the surface, hear waves, and believe help is close. That belief causes most deaths. At 10 meters, pressure already doubles. At 30 meters, it's nearly 4 times what your body experiences on land. That alone changes how your lungs behave and how fast oxygen is consumed. Panic accelerates everything. This zone is also where the ocean is most violent and most alive. Over 90% of all human ocean accidents happen here. Rip currents alone cause over 80% of beach rescues in the US every year, pulling swimmers sideways faster than an Olympic athlete can swim. Nearly all shark attacks worldwide occur in water shallower than 3 meters. Not because sharks are aggressive, but because this is where humans and predators overlap. Species like bull sharks can weigh over 200 kilograms, bite with forces exceeding 1,300 newtons, and hunt in murky, shallow water. Venom is another threat. Box jellyfish, often found near shore, deliver venom strong enough to stop a human heart in minutes. Cone snails, small enough to fit in your hand, carry toxins with no antidote. At the surface, the ocean doesn't need depth or pressure to kill you. It relies on movement, animals, currents, and the false comfort of being close to land. Sunlight zone, 30 to 200 meters. This zone still looks alive. Sunlight reaches you, but it's already thinning. By 50 meters, red light disappears completely. At 100 meters, yellow fades. Everything turns blue and depth becomes harder to judge. Pressure builds faster than most people expect. At 30 meters, pressure is nearly 4 bars. At 100 meters, it reaches 11 bars. By 200 meters, it's about 21 bars, enough to compress air spaces and drastically increase breathing effort. Divers at this depth burn oxygen 2 to 3 times faster than at the surface. This is a prime hunting ground. Great white sharks weighing over 1,000 kilograms patrol these depths. Dolphins, tuna, and swordfish accelerate to speeds exceeding 70 kilometers per hour, striking with enough force to break bones. Visibility is limited, and predators rely on vibration and electrical signals rather than sight. Whales pass through this zone daily. Sperm whales begin dives here that will take them beyond 1,000 meters, holding their breath for over 60 minutes. Strong currents here can pull you sideways without warning. Disorientation sets in quietly. At this depth, the ocean still looks bright, but survival is already being negotiated on terms your body was never built to meet. Twilight Zone, 200 to 1,000 meters. This is where the ocean stops feeling familiar. Sunlight doesn't vanish suddenly. It fades until your eyes can't tell whether it's day or night. By 200 meters, less than 1% of surface light remains. By 500 meters, the sun is effectively gone. Pressure rises aggressively. At 200 meters, it's around 21 bars. At 500 meters, it reaches 51 bars. By 1,000 meters, pressure climbs to over 100 bars, the same pressure used in industrial crushing machines. A human body can't feel this directly, but any failure in protection ends instantly. This zone is packed with strange and dangerous life. Lanternfish, which make up one of the largest biomasses on Earth, migrate through this zone every night in the largest daily animal migration on the planet. Nearly 90% of animals here produce bioluminescence, used to hunt, confuse, or lure prey. Predators like sperm whales regularly hunt here, diving to 2,000 meters and weighing up to 50 tons. Their echolocation clicks are so powerful they can stun prey. Humans rely on light and air. Both are failing here. Oxygen levels are low, orientation collapses, pressure, darkness, and alien biology work together. In the Twilight Zone, survival doesn't feel dramatic. It quietly slips out of reach. Midnight Zone, 1,000 to 4,000 meters. At this depth, the ocean is no longer just dark, it is biologically hostile. Sunlight is completely gone. If your lights fail here, there's no visual reference at all. Up, down, distance, your brain loses them within seconds. Pressure becomes relentless. At 1,000 meters, it's already 100 times the pressure on land. By 4,000 meters, it reaches about 400 bars. That's enough force to crush most steel structures not designed specifically for it. Humans don't feel this pressure directly, capsules do. And when capsules fail here, they don't leak. They collapse instantly. This zone is dominated by predators adapted to darkness. Giant squid, reaching 10 to 13 meters long, hunt here. Their tentacles are lined with suction cups that can exert hundreds of kilograms of force, strong enough to damage submersibles. Anglerfish use bioluminescent lures to ambush prey in total darkness. Some species can swallow animals nearly their own size. Oxygen levels are extremely low, yet animals like the vampire squid survive by slowing their metabolism to near shutdown, something a human body cannot do for even minutes. Only a handful of human missions have ever operated this deep. Many robotic vehicles have been lost here without warning. In the midnight zone, danger doesn't rush you. It surrounds you, silent, pressurized, and already adapted to your failure. Abyss, 4,000 to 6,000 meters. At this depth, the ocean floor finally appears, but it offers no relief. The abyss is a vast, flat plain of mud and rock, stretching for thousands of kilometers. No sunlight has reached this place for tens of millions of years. Darkness here is permanent. Pressure is overwhelming. At 4,000 meters, it reaches about 400 bars. By 6,000 meters, it climbs to roughly 600 bars, 600 times the pressure at sea level. That's enough force to collapse most submarines instantly. Even specialized deep-sea capsules are built with thick, spherical hulls just to avoid being crushed. Life here is extreme and unsettling. Sea spiders the size of dinner plates crawl across the seafloor. Dumbo octopuses drift silently, adapted to pressure that would liquefy human organs. Amphipods, shrimp-like scavengers, can strip bait to bone in hours, surviving pressures that destroy steel housings. Food is scarce. Most animals rely on marine snow, tiny scraps drifting down from far above. Some species may eat only a few times a year. Movement is slow, deliberate, and efficient. Human exploration is rare. Only a small number of robotic missions have survived repeated trips here. When failures happen, recovery is nearly impossible. In the abyss, survival doesn't depend on speed or strength. It depends on enduring a crushing environment that never changes and never forgives. Deep ocean floor, 6,000 to 10,000 meters. At this depth, the ocean floor is no longer flat. It's fractured, tilted, and scarred by tectonic movement. Nothing here feels stable. You are standing on one of the least explored places on Earth. Pressure is beyond anything humans can tolerate. At 6,000 meters, it's about 600 bars. By 10,000 meters, pressure approaches 1,000 bars. That's enough force to crush most unreinforced steel instantly. Even deep-sea capsules designed for this range rely on thick, perfectly shaped pressure spheres. One flaw is enough for total collapse. Life here is built for this punishment. Snailfish have been recorded surviving near 8,000 meters, their bodies soft and flexible to avoid being crushed. Amphipods, some larger than a human hand, thrive here and can tear through bait, plastic, and metal casings with ease. Their strength comes from pressure, not muscle. Temperatures stay near 1 degree Celsius, but cold is irrelevant now. Pressure dominates everything. Sound travels strangely. Movement feels heavy, slow, and deliberate. Only a handful of robotic missions have reached this depth. Many never came back. At the deep ocean floor, survival isn't about bravery or preparation. It's about whether anything made for the surface can exist where the ocean is nearly at its strongest. Trenches, 10,000 to 11,000 meters. This is where the ocean breaks open. Trenches are not wide plains, they are steep, narrow scars in the Earth's crust, formed where tectonic plates collide. The walls drop sharply, and depth increases faster than your senses can process. Pressure here crosses a critical threshold. At 10,000 meters, it reaches around 1,000 bars. By 11,000 meters, it exceeds 1,100 bars, over 1,000 times the pressure at sea level. Imagine the weight of a train concentrated onto the tip of your finger. That's what 1,100 bars feels like. Despite this, life exists. Amphipods, snailfish have been filmed at depths beyond 10,800 meters. Very few human missions have reached trench depths. The bathyscaphe Trias did so in 1960, its steel hull audibly cracking under pressure. More recent robotic dives have been lost without explanation. In the trenches, danger isn't sudden or violent. It's constant. The environment itself applies more force than almost anything humans have ever engineered against, and it never lets up. There are many trenches across the world's oceans, carved where tectonic plates collide. One of them is the Mariana Trench. At its base lies Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on Earth, nearly 11 kilometers below the surface. If Mount Everest were placed here, its peak would still be buried beneath more than 2 kilometers of water. This is where depth stops increasing. Pressure reaches its maximum and goes no further. Only a handful of humans have ever reached this point, and even inside advanced capsules, they could remain here for only a few hours. Subscribe for more journeys into places where survival depends on the environment, not luck.